Hi everyone, today is a very special day in my life. Today is my 3-year cancer anniversary. What that means is I was cured 3 years ago of cancer. And in this video you're going to see the tremendous support staff I had and how they had an impact on me in my life. So here's a video of the support staff.
Hi, my name is Connie Demler and I'm a registered nurse with Berrien County Cancer Service. And a few years ago I had the pleasure and honor of meeting a patient and friend of mine, Kevin Jones. And he was at the time going through chemotherapy at the University of Chicago hospitals. And he was looking for his parents were looking for somebody to come into the home to kind of help them out once in a while if there was any problems. And so with the doctor's orders, I was able to come into Kevin's home during the week and draw his blood and flush his port and kind of take his vitals, make sure he wasn't running a fever. And I think I saw him several times, like once or twice a week. If there was a problem, we would call University of Chicago nurses right away and get message to them. This allowed Kevin to stay home on the days that he did not feel good, and he did not have to make the trip over to University of Chicago quite so often because I was able to take his blood to Lakeland and process it there. Saved him a lot of running back and forth.
Hi, I'm Kim Yaxeter. I'm a former teacher at St. Joe High School where I met Kevin when he was in 9th grade. I was his 9th grade English teacher. We spent a lot of time together in English class, and then when Kevin found out that he had some medical issues, my role kind of changed, and I got to know Kevin a little bit more personally. I was there to provide some tutoring to him in the morning, and also we did a couple FaceTime videos of the classroom. In the afternoons after school, I would go over to Kevin's house and try and catch him up on as much schoolwork as we could if he was feeling well enough. Also, I found it easy to take a meal over to Kevin's family and just try and do whatever I could to make this journey easy for Kevin and his family. I really enjoyed getting to know Kevin, and I can say that he has taught me a lot also. He has taught me that things can change in the blink of an eye, and to be grateful for every moment that you have with your family and friends and here on Earth. So that's just a little bit about how I know Kevin.
So you're 3 years free of cancer.
Correct, yeah.
Now, and you're going to be going to Hungary when?
Next week, next Friday, so.
Yeah. So if you were to, kind of talk about your experience in the last 4 years, what, in terms of the work you did with me, what would you say was the most important part of that for
most
you?
important was just getting, if things were bothering me emotionally wise, or just in general, just things, if someone is bothering me, or just to kind of give you guys a progress update, I'd come in and talk to you about what was going on, because I couldn't really do neural because the brain was still very sensitive.
Right.
And then you provide that aspect where, I mean, I have a school counselor, but she's not available for an hour all the time.
Yeah.
And then you provide that feedback for that way, in guidance. That way, just it helps me get through certain situations like the chemotherapy and then the after effects of radiation. So.
Yeah. So, I imagine that you're grateful for a lot of things.
Yeah,
and experiences right now.
Yeah, I count my blessings every day, but I'm grateful for you guys, because in every situation you have to have like some support staff to get things out. Because if you bottle things up, unfortunately, it's not very good to have.
Right.
So.
That's true. And there's another thing that's really kind of interesting about, like in the field that I work in and study, that we found is that a lot of times when people get sick, whether it's they get depressed or anxious, if they have trouble focusing and paying attention, or if they get physically ill, sometimes with cancer, sometimes with heart problems and type 2 diabetes, that kind of stuff. And in the third area, when people get addicted to things like too much texting or too much alcohol or too much of a drug, that one of the major determinants of those kinds of problems is the lack of deep, responsive, compassionate, empathic connections in a person's life.
Right.
And so when any of us get have problems, then a lot of times part of the recovery, besides the medical things that we often have to do to get better with medicines or chemotherapy or surgeries or radiation in the form of cancer, we often have to also have caring relationships with people, and that actually helps us to wire up our brain for better regulation of our thoughts and our attention, and better regulation of our behavior and our I think I said our emotions. So that all usually helps us to grow and develop relationships and ideas of what we want to do in the world, being creative and figuring things out, learning new things. So that's, I would imagine for you, because in having watched you grow over the years, not just growing up, but also grow in your compassion and awareness and your ability to focus your attention, that's been really great for us too. To see how you're living your life. Yeah. That's really neat.
Instead of being like a negative all the time, be like positive and try not to let things bother you too much, with this step in a third person point of view versus the first person of my life, actually. So but appreciate all the work you continue to do, and whenever I need something, I obviously you're always one. You and Jane are both one phone call away. So
Yep. Well, it's been our pleasure to know you and to go through some of these times with you. Yeah. Because I think part of what I do, and I think Jane shares that orientation, is we have hope that people can grow and develop and love and receive love, and if they're stuck in some way, that they get their body and their mind back in a self-regulating mode. Right. And so we also expect that if people stick with it, with the process. So I think that's kind of what you've demonstrated in your life.
Everything is a process. It takes.
Yeah. But even amongst your friends, and I assume your teachers and teammates, that you know, you've kind of been a model of that you can overcome, you know, really hard things and develop, not just survive it, but to develop and grow.
Right.
And so that's good for everybody and who knows you.
Yeah.
I think.
Hi, I'm Tracy Wagner. I am a high school guidance counselor at St. Joseph High School. I've known Kevin for a really long time, since he was little, at Lincoln as an elementary student, and I've known his family that long as well. So when Kevin came to the high school and I had the good fortune of being his guidance counselor, the year that he was battling his cancer, I was able to help by coordinating homebound services so he could continue with his education and meet graduation requirements, and just making sure that he had everything that he needed education-wise. And also I was fortunate to be able to go in a snowstorm and visit him at the hospital, and really just wanted to be support for his whole family. I don't think of him just as a student, but as a friend, and his family is like family to me. I think one of the things that I really admired about Kevin and learned from him through his journey with cancer and his recovery was just the power of the human spirit, the importance of maintaining as positive of an attitude as you can when you're going through something like that. And that was always Kevin, always looking toward the next step of what he needed to do, and I think he inspired a lot of us to try to make sure that we live every day to the fullest and appreciate our support systems and our communities. So congratulations, Kevin, and to your family, and my very best wishes always.
I'm Kay Frozelone. I was the secretary in the principal's office at St. Joseph High School. Kevin would stop in my office every morning to say hi to me, and I always really looked forward to that every day. He is such a special young man and so inspirational. Everybody learned so much from him. He was at school to learn, but I think everyone learned more by having him around. And one thing in particular, his counselor Tracy Wagner and I drove to the hospital in Chicago in a snowstorm to deliver some things that people at school wanted to give Kevin, and we were so inspired by how upbeat he was, and I couldn't be more pleased that or proud of him that he has graduated, and I think of him often, and he's just a special person that I'm so glad I've had the chance to know.
For those who don't know me and never met me in my life, I'm going to share my story on how I beat brain cancer. So a little bit over 3 years ago, I was diagnosed on January 13th, 2014 with germinoma brain cancer. And basically what that is a germ cell tumor that the doctors didn't know really where it came from. And basically I got treated at the University of Chicago at Comer Medicine. My first symptoms were back pain and double vision in the left eye. And I thought I was stressed, and when I played football I got knocked around a few times, but overall I felt pretty good. And over time the conditions started to get worse. and it was wasn't getting any better. So I decided, let's go to the eye doctor and see what it would be. You know, let's see what maybe the pressure behind the eye or something. But unfortunately, it was something. The initial report, the doctor saw that there was pressure behind the eye, and it wasn't sure what was causing it. So we got an MRI done over after the week, and it turned out to be a mass in the back of the brainstem. It was a tumor. And then the next day we went to the University of Chicago, met with a neurologist there, and said that it's cancer, unfortunately. Well, at first he didn't really know, but then we went 2 surgeries. One biopsy was that they tried relieving the pressure and they couldn't get a sample, which is fine. And then the second surgery, we finally got a sample, and then results came back a few weeks later saying that it was cancer. It was germinoma brain cancer, and we went with the oncologist, and my oncologist at the time was Dr. Rubin, and then his nurse practitioner is Kelly Kramer, or really in this case doctor's assistant. I consider doctor's assistant, and you know, I knew what had to be done. Football has taught me a lot of life lessons about life, and that's how you get through things. My freshman year, Matt Maddox taught me about how during away games it's a business trip. And the first thing I said when I went to the University of Chicago, I said it was a business trip, and I took care of it. I went to treatment after treatment, going through one painful treatment to the next. Actually, the treatments per treatment, it would last 3 days, so Monday through Wednesday, ideally. And Monday wasn't too bad. Tuesday wasn't. It was getting worse over time. The treatments, more durability, like it gets you more sick those days. The Tuesday and Monday would just take everything out of you, but I never gave up. That's what you have to do in life. You never give up in life, and I kept on pushing through the tough times, the long nights I spent in the bathroom, to be honest with you, getting sick. But it's all for a purpose and all for one goal. But during treatments, I would go, that week of treatments, I would not go to school, of course. But the week after, I would go to school, because academics are very important in anything, really. But when you're struggling, not even really necessarily struggling, but you're having a time where you're sick, and yeah. But in the long run, after 2 treatments, there's a significant decrease in the tumor. The tumor was originally 19 millimeters, and then it shrunk down to 9, which is, the doctors were really surprised on that. And with that significant decrease in size, they actually shortened the plan some. I went to, after the treatments I got done with in May, I started treatments in February, but the treatments got done in May, and at the time, my freshman year, I only missed 38 days, which is pretty good for having cancer. And then in June of 2014, I went to the proton radiation. It is a new type of radiation where instead of like traditional radiation, it will go directly on the actual hot spot, I call it, because where the tumor was and where the cancer cells were. So I did that every day for a month, and then they said come back in come back in August for an MRI, and obviously on August 1st, 2014, I found out that I was cured of cancer. And that's huge. That's huge in anything. But as you've seen in this video, I couldn't have done it without the tremendous support that everyone gave me. I mean, I only had 3 people speak, but I can't include everyone, unfortunately, because it'd be like a 5-hour movie, and to be honest with you, because I had tremendous support. And in life, you have to, life isn't fair sometimes, and life will be difficult, but it's okay to ask for help, because people will be there to help you when you need it. And in any situation, good or bad, just be positive about it. I understand it's not very easy to be positive when you're having cancer, but if you get through it, you will get, if you think positive during that experience, you will get through it. And yeah, but giving you a little update, during my sophomore year, which is currently 2014, I missed 66 days my sophomore year. That was because my immune system was basically gone. Everything about it was gone. Say if you got a cold, or if any of your relatives got a cold, like a small cold, it'd be twice or triple the amount of, it'd be worse. It'd be a lot worse. And sometimes I stumped the doctors because they didn't know what the heck was going on with it. It's like, here's an analogy for everyone. It's basically having a filing folder full of papers on a windy day and going like that. You don't know what you're gonna get, and that's okay. You know, it was tough. I admit it was tough, obviously, but I knew it will get better. Things in life will get better for you if you make it a goal to get better. Not be down in the dumps, be negative, feeling sorry for yourself. You have, in life, you have to be positive about it. And yeah, that's the situation. I mean, things aren't gonna go 100% your way, and they won't. They will never go 100% your way. But you gotta make it your life, and you gotta make it your way. You gotta make it so you're enjoying life, not pleasing other people. Be yourself. That's my main message at this point, besides my cancer. Is what I really learned from my cancer was it taught me a lot of life lessons that no kid should really have to go through, but because I was 14 and 15 at the time, but it's okay. You had to grow up. When your kid goes through cancer, you have to grow up, because it's a live or die moment, basically. If you choose not just ignore it, you're not gonna live, unfortunately. But if you're positive about it, and you have that mentality that you're gonna kick his butt, you're gonna kick its butt. Seriously. Because life's like that. You know, you're gonna get, things aren't gonna go your way. You're gonna wonder, why me? Why this? But you shouldn't do that, because it's just life. Can't change it, but you can make an impact on it. And yeah, I appreciate everyone watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it inspired someone that's watching it. And if you guys want to share it with your friends, family, coworkers, I'd be happy. I'd be honored for you to share it. Because I'm not here to kind of just put it out there. I'm here to change people's lives. That's what I try not to bring religion to it, but that's why God kept me on this earth, is to change people's lives. And I change people's lives in different ways. I inspire them to keep doing good in life. And that's what you gotta do. I challenge every single one of you watching change one person's life, trust me, it will make a huge difference in their life. Because that person you change, that you could change their life, they could be having a really crappy day or crappy life, and you come in their life with a positive and helpful attitude, you will change your life. So, my final message to everyone is, be yourself, be positive about everything, and have a great day. Thanks for supporting me and everything.